Most men don't get it, but she'll never tell you. You think she wants your body? No, she wants your command over it. She wants your touch, but only when it's deliberate. Your gaze, but only when it says, I see you. And your silence. That's what breaks her more than words ever will. The truth is, turning her on starts before a single kiss, before a single touch. It starts the moment you walk into the room, with that calm, grounded energy that says you don't need her, but you choose her. That's power. That's presence. And that's what this video is about. Because most men operate like boys. They chase, they rush, they act on impulse. But the man who truly knows how to turn her on knows that arousal is a dance between energy and control, not just physical stimulation. So if you're ready to master this art, not just the act, but the energy, stick with me, because what I'm about to reveal, most men will never figure out in their lifetime. Part 1, Presence over Pressure, 5019 Wada. A woman can feel the difference between a man who's with her and one who's just on her. Presence means you're not in your head. You're not planning your next move. You're not worried about how you're doing. You're fully there, with her, breathing with her, feeling her energy. This is rare, and she knows it the moment it happens. When you remove pressure and replace it with focus, she relaxes. And in her relaxation, she becomes more open, more sensual, more responsive. Because she doesn't feel hunted, she feels chosen. Your ability to make her feel safe without being soft, dominant without being demanding, and grounded without being cold, is the very thing that switches on her deepest desires. Most men never give her this space. They rush, they grab, they try to prove themselves. But the man who can simply hold space for her to be feminine, that man owns her without needing to possess her. Part 2, The Pace of a King. 9 yuan to 13. Speed is for boys. Stillness is for kings. When you move slowly, with intention, you activate her imagination. And women's arousal starts in the mind. Fast touch is forgettable. Slow touch is unforgettable. Because every inch you cover slowly feels like a world explored. Every pause between your actions creates craving. And in craving, she loses control. It's not about how much you do. It's about how deeply you do it. A kiss that lingers. A hand that rests with weight. A breath that matches hers. These things seem small, but they change everything. When you slow down, she feels your control. And when she feels your control, she surrenders her own. She stops thinking. She starts feeling. And that's when she truly opens. Not just her body, but her trust, her hunger, her wildness. Part 3, Command through Calm. Turn on 17 Mirror. The most attractive man in the room isn't the loudest. He's the calmest. Because calm is a signal of power. It tells her, I've seen storms. I don't fear yours. When you speak slowly, when you lower your tone, when you take pauses like you own time itself, you hypnotize her. You become a gravitational force she can't resist. Your voice isn't just sound, it's energy. The deeper, the slower, the more intentional. It doesn't just turn her on. It tells her nervous system that you're a man she can melt into. She may not consciously realize it, but her body responds to a man who doesn't react to her, but rather directs the moment with calm presence. She wants to feel your power, but not through aggression, through stillness, through restraint, through a gaze that doesn't ask permission, but doesn't force either. This is the paradox of seduction. The man who doesn't chase is chased. The man who doesn't need her is needed. Part 4, Eye Contact that Dominates. 171 or before your hands touch her skin, your eyes touch her soul. And if you can't hold her gaze, you'll never hold her trust. Women are biologically tuned to read a man's eyes. They can feel your intention, your dominance, your certainty, all through a single glance. Most men break eye contact too fast. They look away. They fidget. They leak nervous energy. But when you lock eyes and stay there, with stillness and certainty, something changes in her. She starts to question, who is this man? She starts to feel seen, not just looked at. And that feeling, it's deeply seductive. Strong eye contact isn't about staring. It's about communicating without speaking. It's about sending a clear message. I'm not here to take from you. I'm here to lead you into something you've never felt before. When your gaze says, I own the moment, she'll start wanting to be owned by you. Part 5, Touch that Speaks. 2101-260. Touch is not just physical, it's emotional communication. When a man touches a woman without awareness, it's just friction. But when a man touches her with intent, presence and emotion, it becomes connection. The first time you touch her hand or guide her lower back, It should feel like a whisper, not a demand. Slow, confident, grounded. And here's the secret, less is more. Touch her like you don't need to, but you enjoy it. Touch her like every inch matters, not just the obvious ones. Because it's the non-sexual touch that activates her sexual energy. When you can arouse her just by brushing her arm, resting your hand on her thigh, or gently guiding her through a door, that's when she realizes, this man knows things. He's experienced. I want more. Never underestimate the power of subtle dominance in your touch. Part 6, Vocal Seduction. The unspoken turn-on. 26-1030 Hero. You don't need perfect words. You need the right vibe. Your voice should drop in pitch when you're being intimate. Your sentences should slow. Your words should become more intentional. Speak to her like you already know her body's reaction to your presence. Use pauses. Use breath. Use silence. Part 7, Smell and Scent, the primal trigger. 34 Neuro. A woman's sense of smell is more powerful than you think, especially when it comes to attraction. Long before you touch her lips, her brain is picking up on your scent, your natural body smell, your cologne, the way your clothes smell when she leans in. All of it sends signals. Choose a signature scent that is masculine, subtle and grounded, woody, musky with a hint of spice. Never overpower it, just leave a trace, because when she hugs you and your scent lingers on her clothes or her pillow, you haunt her memory. And guess what? She'll keep coming back just to smell you again. It's primal, it bypasses logic, and it's one of the most overlooked turn-ons. You can seduce her without saying a word, just by the way you smell. Part 8, Stillness that creates craving. 34-01-30-0. Most men rush, fidget, fill silence with noise. But the man who can sit still creates tension. Stillness says, I'm not in a hurry. I'm in control. I don't need to chase. I attract. I create the moment. I don't chase it. When you're still, she leans in. When you don't rush to kiss her, she wonders what it would feel like. When you pause before touching her, she aches for it. Stillness builds suspense, and suspense is the foundation of sexual tension. Don't rush to unwrap the moment. Make her unwrap herself. A man who can delay, a man who can sit in silence and own it, is a man she won't forget. Part 9, The Power of Restraint. Don't give her everything. 38-01-42-0. You don't win a woman's soul by giving her everything. You win it by making her want more. Restraint is the ultimate seduction. Most men give too much too soon. Too much attention. Too many compliments. Too much emotional access. But the man who controls his desire, who gives just enough, and then pulls back, becomes unforgettable. Restraint creates mystery. Mystery creates obsession. You don't need to chase her. You need to leave a trail of experiences that makes her chase you. Say just enough. Touch just enough. Share just enough. She should feel like she's tasted you, but never fully consumed you. Because once she thinks she has you all figured out, she stops craving. Part 10, Presence. Over perfection, what she really craves. 42-01-46-0. Here's the final truth. You don't need to be the most handsome, or the richest, or the most charming. You just need to be present. Most men aren't here. They're in their head, worried, performing, faking confidence. But women can feel when a man is fully present, like he's nowhere else but here, in this moment, with her, breathing her in, listening, holding space. That's what makes her melt. That's what makes her submit. That's what makes her remember you when she's alone at night. Presence is rare, and when you give it to her, she feels seen, safe, and desired at the same time. Forget the tricks. Forget the tactics. Be so grounded, so still, so composed, that she forgets every other man she's ever known. Final words, 46-01-48-0. This is not about manipulation. It's about mastery of yourself, your energy, and your masculinity. Because when you walk into a room fully grounded, fully intentional, fully alive, you don't need to impress her. You simply become the man she never knew she craved. So don't chase. Don't perform. Become. Let your silence speak. Let your presence pull. Let your restraint ignite the fire. She'll go crazy for you. Not because you tried to win her, but because you reminded her what a real man feels like.